What's good, travelers? Welcome to Zenkai Station, greatest podcast in Sector 5, bringing good times and dopeness personified. I am your host, Isaiah, aka Senpai Savage, and yes, it is just your boy rocking from the original trio today. But I am not alone. I have a special guest with me, a very good brother of mine. I'll allow him to introduce himself.
So I am Nate. Currently don't have a cool nickname, but as you can see, Nate, and I actually know Senpai Savage through college, so that's like my brother right there. So I'm gonna let him start the origin story.
Yo, yo, all right. So real talk. Our actual origin story is pretty dope. So all right. So we were both freshmen in college, and I think this might have been like the first month in, and I hear him and another person who will eventually be on the podcast later, y'all. He's like our big brother of ours. But I'm walking down the hallway. I hear him and I hear our other friend playing this video game, and I just couldn't help myself. So I stopped for a second. I'm like, hold up, are they playing Naruto Ninja Storm, like the very first one? Because it sounded like I hear that button clicking, try and get that combination going, and I'm like, oh, hold on, was that Shidori? Yeah, hold on, let me pop in real quick, let's see what's happening. And yeah, sure enough, they playing Naruto Ninja Storm, and legitimately from like from there, because thankfully you and I, we were on like the same floor anyway, back in the old building in Funkhauser, and so I pop in, I see that, and you and our brother Mark, you asked like, "Oh snap, you like anime? You play this game?" I'm like, "Yeah, hold on, let me get the sticks real quick." So came in, bust that ass. I came in and bust that ass. I was like, yeah, I was a sleeper agent. It's cool. I was just out here, just me doing my thing. But honestly, ever since then, we just like kind of we got closer. We bonded over anime, video games, football, sports, all that stuff. And as well, we went to a predominantly white college, so also being POCs.
Yeah.
Making things pop and be fresh on campus while we could. Um, so inside, actually, this brings to an inside joke on why I still like call you twin. Is like not only like you are like a very very good brother of mine, but also because in college people confused us all the
I
time.
know.
All the time. I'm like first and foremost, Nate's 6'4". I'm only like 6.5, 6'1". There is a height difference there. And also, not only that, Nate was on the football team. I was just, some dude who was chilling, who used to play football. I was doing my thing. So I didn't understand how the body types, because again, 6'4", 6 foot, they look different, right? Plus, this face and that face, both moneymakers, again, look there. And plus, Nate wore glasses at the time. He don't wear them now. That man got, that good eyesight. I mean, he's doing good with the eyesight now. He sees far into the future. But back then, nah, my man had the glasses, and it was just one of those things like, all right, that's cool. And we definitely had some fun with that.
Oh yeah, that was wild. And it was only 14 of us, so I felt like I should have made it easier.
Exactly. Like a smaller pool of people, like you still can't tell the difference. All right. Oh man.
Crazy.
But hey,
Crazy.
but we here
Yeah,
now.
it's funny you say that because the first time we met, I still have some trauma from that.
I'm
Mark,
sorry.
man, I'll tell you what though, because fighting games have never been my thing, and I'm like a casual gamer, so I don't like,
Yeah.
I'm not like die hard. But
Right.
Mark is a musician, so
Mm-hmm.
the audience don't know this, but this man, he's a musician. So the thing about musicians is their hand-eye coordination is amazing. And
Yeah.
so, like, I don't know if anybody's playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Like the very first one had this button sequence whenever you
Mm-hmm.
clashed, and Mark used to fucking win every time, and I used to be heated. And that was like my goal. I'm like, this dude literally got the shotgun. Like
Yep.
he's literally like 24/7, like just always winning that thing. So
He had it
it
down
got to
to
me.
a science. It was
It
scary.
got to me. Not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, because that means in that game, right? You weren't able to actually defend against a ultimate jutsu because it's like, well, he's always able to defend and he's always able to attack. I can't do either. So like your best bet was to never get hit or actually even use the ultimate jutsu against him. until Storm 2 came, and then the whole landscape changed. But by then, you were like, I'm good. I'm gonna wait till Marvel vs.
Oh yeah,
Capcom. I ain't gonna front. You tore me up in that.
I retired from video games. You know,
You
I
did
like fighting games. Fighting games. I still play casual games, you know, but fighting games.
That's
I
true.
retired.
And then, but no, you made a strong like comeback on video games with what was it, the PlayStation All Stars?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
were
my
smooth with Sly
gosh, that was
Cooper.
just
I heard.
the PlayStation like Smash Bros. Rip off,
Yup.
man. Like
Yup.
I hope people forget that. I remember that was a PS3. The dorm rooms were popping with that one, but it was kind of
Hell
funny
yeah.
because, like, you know, like Smash Bros. Such a classic. You
Mm-hmm.
bring that up like to anybody who's like into nerd culture. You
Yeah,
bring
they
up
go,
Smash
oh,
Bros. Like everybody know what the deal is, and everybody got some kind of memory of either whooping some ass and getting their ass whooped in Smash Bros.
exactly.
So, yeah, man, that was good times.
Good ass times, man. But yeah, so ladies and gents, that's our intro. All right. That's how we came to know each other. It started off as just like a rent. Just being a little nosy. Just heard some button clicking and I heard of Rasengan Shidori. And the rest honestly is history. Been like brothers ever since. And you know, let me check in on my brother. So let's get things started with a vibe check. How you feeling today, man? What's new? What's popping?
Man, I feel great.
Yeah.
Uh, feel good, man. I mean, like, just been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of just really cool shits coming on. I was looking at the anime list for like the spring, and
Yeah.
I saw some of my mangas get turned into anime, so I felt good about
Yeah.
that. And then like just general, man, just progressing. Like I think ever since I started meditating, I just take things a day at a time, you know. And even if like
Okay.
something poor happens in my life, I just kind of like deal with it a lot better because I just sit there and meditate over it. And like instead of just clamping down and feeling sorry for myself, I start to think, okay, like this is a challenge. What
Right.
lesson can I learn from this? So it's just been, man, a lot of Zen. I got
Good,
the
man.
yin and yang sign on my laptop and pretty much everywhere. So I've
Trying to
been
find
just
that
Zen.
balance. Yo, man. I was gonna so because yeah, every time I think of like the yin and yang sign, and I know it's never the first place I've ever seen it, but Neji from Naruto, it's just like every time it's like, all right, you're in range. I'm like, I just see it. Like, yeah, man, every time, and it's just he owns it. Just don't end up like Neji though. We know how that goes.
No,
But
no,
I
I'm
will say
good.
lately. But I'd be like, you're like in your sage meditative, under the waterfalls of Mount Miyaboku, getting the energy right. And honestly, meditation's really dope. Like, do you have any sort of tips for anyone or any, listener, viewer out there? Because like I'm a big uh supporter of meditation, prayer, or going outside for walks, anything that's going to get you right and get you focused. I'm a big supporter in that. So if you have any tips for people who want to try meditation for like the first time, what would that be?
Yeah, so I personally just do my own. And what I mean by
Mm-hmm.
that, like I don't follow like any structure or anything. I take like 10 or 15 minutes in the day, like
Mm-hmm.
of what I call me time.
Word.
Right. And so I just like no noise. That's like my rule, no noise, nothing. I shut my eyes, man. I just think and self assess. Like to
Word.
me, it starts with the self, right? And people who achieve greatness have to look in themselves and be honest with themselves. And I just, whatever I'm going through, if I felt like yesterday I didn't handle a situation correctly, like I just take the time to really think through it and like be like, did I give it my best? Or did I try to look at this in a positive way? Or was I aggressive enough? Or maybe I needed to back off and really just like self-assess. Like that 10, 15 minutes is all for like my mental development, my mental health. And that's how I do it. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of different ways to go about it. I know there's like structure to it. There's like
Mm-hmm.
you could tie it
Well,
into religions.
I guess my question in that regard is, say someone does want to like try and learn meditation, or at least they want to try it out, right? I think a lot of people may have some issues trying to like clear their mind, so to speak, because people got a lot going on, like, so they're probably always constantly thinking. So how would or what's a tool that can help them clear their mind in a way so that they can then focus on what it is that they're after?
That's a great question, man. And I think it's just going to depend on the individual. But
Okay.
like personally, when I got a lot going on,
Hmm.
to me, it was like it's a routine thing, right? So
Right,
I
right,
know
right.
like in the morning when I first wake up, I'm a morning person. Let me just
Hmm.
preface that.
I'm
So in the
not, but
mornings,
I'm
I'm up at
becoming.
like 5
You.
and people are sleeping. So I know like that time is not the busiest. So my advice is do it by routine. Like find a time where you don't have things weighing down on you. So if it's the morning, if it's like right before you go to bed, whatever they mean, like try to find a
Right, right.
routine and make consistent. That's number one. I think to clear your actual mind though, um, like know that like don't try to meditate after you just got into a fight or you
Right.
like argument fight anywhere where you're like emotionally heightened.
Hmm.
Like try to pick a time where maybe you're a little bit more mellow or like calm about things, and that's usually
Hmm.
how I go about it. In the morning I'm like not as emotional. I had my rest, I'm up, I'm a little bit more like clear mind, like nothing has happened to me yet, so that's
Yeah.
why it's easier for me. But my advice is like start do it at a time where you're clear mind,
Hmm.
build a routine. I think that helps you clear out because once you become routine, right, it's kind of like going to the gym the same time every day.
Yeah.
You just get used to it, it becomes easier.
Yeah.
And if you're having trouble like really focusing and concentrating, figure out why.
Gotcha.
um, like if it's because you have ADHD,
Hmm.
like make sure you're taking medication, or
Yeah.
consult somebody who's an expert in that. Or if it's because you are just an overthinker, because I'm an overthinker,
I feel that.
then figure out what you're overthinking about, and then try to think about something else. Try to think about something that doesn't make you think.
Right.
There's different ways to go about it, but I think ultimately it's going to determine like your current situation, your specific situation.
Shoot. Yeah, most definitely, man. That's a good vibe check, and definitely incredibly useful for those who may just need a little bit of advice or other mechanisms to help with their own mental health and just simply help clear the mind a little bit. On my end, let's see, on my vibe check, this week's been alright. It's been pretty chill. Nothing. That's a lie. I was gonna say nothing too wild happened. But anyway, for the listeners who know, at my job, it can get a little wild sometimes, and thankfully it wasn't too crazy like the one time before. However, did have to call the cops just because people were being real foolish. So called the cops, um, and unfortunately they did not come in time. So then me and a trainer just handled the situation, and it was all good.
Oh,
People left. No one was hurt. So had to deal with that. But this past weekend, so I know this episode is gonna feel a little dated, and that's okay. We do this pre-recorded. Y'all already know this. No worries whatsoever. But the Philadelphia Fan Expo came through, and it was a lot of fun. I actually, this is gonna sound bad. I forgot it was happening only because I was so used to hearing the words Wizard World. So when someone said, "Hey, this is Philadelphia Fan Expo," I was like, but doesn't Philadelphia have Wizard World? Isn't there something like Keystone Comic Con? I was just confused. All right, I was every which way, and the only reason I knew this event was happening was because my girlfriend and her friend had a panel there, and I was like, oh okay. So went checked it out. Luckily, my old mentor from my old Black Tribbles days, he had a badge for me at the convention. Came through, and it was really dope. I had a really good time. It just makes me want to be prepared for next year. So hopefully that Zenkai can get like a panel or I at least get a booth, table, whatever, to help make some sort of appearance there as a unit, and that'll be dope as hell. Didn't do too much spending, got to save some money because rent, and as well gas
nice.
prices. Yeah, feel me? How,
Inflation's a bitch.
inflation's a bit. It sure is. But I did get some cool art, and I just want to shout out the artist. I think on Instagram is Aziaz the Virus, and the piece of artwork I got, if I can. fit it all up here. It's a dope
Oh,
All Might. So, sorry about that light, but yeah, yeah. So
I
like
think I
All Might,
seen it on your
yeah,
girl's. It might have been her Instagram. She had the Rock Lee joint, and it was
yes,
him with a drunken fist. Honestly,
yes.
yeah, his art's dope. His
So
art's dope.
this bull fire. Like, so when I went to the convention, my partner, she was like, "There's this art place I have to show you. You're gonna love it." And not only her, but her friend and like my other real good friend, right? My other best friend. He's gonna be mad if I say good friend. My other best friend, right? He was like, "Yeah, no, all of us agreed. When you see this, you're gonna love it." I was like, all right, that's a tall order because like I've been to a lot of cons. I know what I like, I know what I don't like pretty quickly, like real talk. So if, I'm gonna take y'all word on this, all right? Because I know I can be very particular. So we get up, ride right up to the art station that was happening, and the moment I saw him, like, oh damn, y'all good? Because yeah, this shit fire. This shit is nice.
Yeah,
So now I got my boy All Might blinged out with an All Might chain and one for all. As a, yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
sick.
I'm
It's
sorry.
sick, baby.
You say he blinked out, and like the first thing I thought of is I don't know. You sent me or D sent me this,
Yeah.
but when they said the All Might rap battle and he was going in, please tell me you remember that shit.
I think it was
I don't
me.
I don't even know what the source was, bro. But I was like, he was spitting fire.
Yo, All Might just got bars sometimes. Like
I
hey, symbol
know.
of peace. He be peacing people in a
Shit.
cipher. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's what's happening with us. All right, that's how we're getting things started. So no smooth transition. We're just gonna get right into it. My brother, when it comes to this whole like geek world and anime as a whole, like I guess what for you is like your start, what was your launch point into the whole geek community?
Man, my launch point was fucking Toonami. I feel like a lot of black dudes, like everybody I talked to is black that was like
Yeah,
anime. Most of us like started with Toonami because that was
yeah,
like our way of staying off the streets.
true.
Like I remember like Saturday nights, man. Tom was that dude. He
Tom saved
said
lives. I don't even think Tom really understands what he did, but yeah,
he
Tom saved
did,
lives.
man. But I got in with my brothers. So I got three brothers and we all like that's what we did instead of like going out and doing like street stuff.
Yeah,
So we saw in that Dragon Ball, Naruto, uh, man, Cowboy Bebop. Some of the
yeah,
I remember like there was one called Eureka 7. I don't even know if
yup, I
people
remember
remember
that.
that. Like really like crazy off the wall stuff, but it
Hmm.
kind of hit with the American audience. I felt like they knew what they was doing,
Oh,
but
for
it
sure.
definitely hit with the American audience knowing anime now. And I'm like, yeah, y'all eased us into it because some of
Yeah,
y'all stuff is crazy.
a little
So
out there.
yeah, so that's how I started, man. How about you? I think we had this conversation before, but just
Oh yeah, we've definitely had this conversation before, and like the people know. Like for me, it was honestly, I actually remember the pre Toonami days,
mm,
because I got into it accidentally one day when I think it was definitely a Saturday morning scenario, and at six or 6:30 a.m. Bill Nye the Science Guy was on. I was already up. My dad was up. You know, he'd be going to work and stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go watch Bill Nye the Science Guy. I'm out here bobbing Bill, you know, with everyone else right at home. And after Bill went off, that's when Dragon Ball Z came on. Rock the Dragon was my shit. And not only was it just like my shit, but like that was also when my dad would actually like be on his way out, but he'll wait a couple minutes. He'll actually watch, you know, a little bit of it. So like it's one of the animes like my dad knows Dragon Ball Z, bet. But not even just that, it was something for like my cousins, my uncles and stuff. My mom's even watched this. So I was like, all right, bet. This is it. Like this is the dopeness. And then after that, you know, some people would scatter, but Sailor Moon would come on. And I was like, all right, hold up, these girls are badass. Like they they pretty and they whoop your ass. So it was just like, all right. So that's kind of how I like got into anime, like into anime itself. But I was definitely introduced into the geek community with Superman. Superman was my very first like superhero that I truly enjoyed. It was Superman, then it was Spider-Man, and then Batman. I don't like Batman as much now that I'm older, only because that got problems. That's a whole different episode, though. Like, I ain't gonna front. Batman slander will always be hilarious to me, even though Batman is a good hero. But I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Batman slander is hilarious. Okay. Okay.
It is funny. I'm
Like,
not gonna lie, it is.
like if I could find the video, I don't. The community is hilarious because there's definitely a video floating out there. I do not know who dubbed over it, but there's a voiceover done by, I guess, a couple of dudes, and or maybe this is one guy doing different voices, but it's Batman with the red tornado, I think Green Lantern, and a couple other heroes from the Justice League. I think they're fighting was it not Doom? No, I think it is Doomsday or Darkseid, one of them. And there's a scene where they're like in the cartoon, it actually like slow pans to Batman's face, and he's looking kind of shocked. And then there's an overlay of sounds of people crying out and screaming. And the dude is being Batman's internal voice. He's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I ain't built for this shit. You know what? This is some intergalactic. Y'all got powers. I'm human. And he's just looking for the exit as quick as possible. And then you have John Jones, Martian Manhunter, like,
man.
Batman, where you going? He's like, Alfred called me home. It's like, but we need you, Bruce. We need you. What you doing? Nah, y'all look good. Y'all got this. It's like, and Batman did. It's like, yo. Yeah, so
that's funny.
That's just one grade 80 example. I'm always here for the Batman slander, but do know that I do like Batman, but he needs help.
I know.
But yeah,
hey, I'm here for any kind of slander. And I will say this, I respect opinions, but it's like, this is my thing with just like creative content in general, comedy. Like, this is, you got to look at it from an open mind.
Right.
And like even like superheroes, like a lot of it is like fake and exaggerated. And if you point out every little like possible thing, like, because I always get friends that be like, well, Batman could have just used this money to save the community. I'm like, that's not the whole point. The whole point is he did this, like, it's a story. It's exaggerated. It's a what if scenario, like whatever you want to interpret it as, but it's just entertainment, man. It's art.
It is entertainment at the end of the day.
And I would say I critique shows and things, right? And that's all right. Everybody consumes art differently, but I always say, hey, ultimately the artist wrote it the way he saw it fit. That's his art, her art, whoever
was behind the creation of said episode.
So I mean, I'm always for the slander. Like, I like to have a good time, and I think the internet's undefeated, man. Like, how quick motherfuckers come up with this stuff.
Easily undefeated.
Man, I'm like, y'all are so good and so creative with these memes, and like, just
the internet's a trillion to zero.
But people, the trolls are being there like, well, he's rich, he should have done this. No. I'm like, man, enjoy the show. It's a show.
Yo, look, I ain't going front though. I be with them trolls though. I'm like, yo, Batman really could have at least done something to Joker. So like, it's one of those things. Like, hey, look, I would say Batman has the no kill rule. That's fine. But of all the people for Joker, he at least could just keep him in his own isolated, area and just watch over him. Batman has pure surveillance over Joker and Batman alone. Like, all right, that's cool. He ain't got to be the, in the psychiatric ward with the rest of Gen Pop and everyone else. But hey, you know what? Batman is Batman. He's just out there breaking spines off a dude, just selling a dime bag, trying to provide for a family. Gotham sucks. I mean, imagine living in Gotham. Ass. That is trash. Just insurance. I hope you have it, because your stuff is getting shot up or blown up, or you're getting taken hostage. Life insurance policies got to be crazy over there too. Just
Gotham is the hood in every city, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much it. It's the hood in every city. It's all good.
It's you find the good. You find the good somewhere. in Gotham. And sometimes I wonder if there is any, but it's okay. Only in Gotham. Only in Gotham.
There's 100 different versions of Gotham too, so it's just funny.
I know.
But the best part about it all is they all suck. Like nobody wants to live. Nobody would want to live there. So it's like, at least that's the consistency. Because I know
Rent gotta be
DC throws
cheap.
out so many storylines, you know.
Yeah.
So like at least Gotham sucks every storyline.
Every storyline. We keep it consistent. Gotham is not the place to be. All right.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, you right.
That's funny.
Oh my god. But yeah, that was essentially like my gateway into the geek community was through the superheroes, and then Bill Nye the Science Guy accidentally led me into anime. And from there I just ran with it. And yeah, I never looked back. I really loved anime and whatnot. And even going on to read manhwas, and eventually, I guess technically I did read a light novel or two, like the post Shippuden Naruto novels. I read those, and then I know there's some for Bleach. I haven't read those yet, but I want to get them. And when it comes to light novels, you and our boy Kurokami, y'all are like the biggest proprietors, because Black Kobayashi, he don't read, not really. And that's no knock, but he knows if he was here, I'd be laughing my ass off. He don't read. All right, he don't read. He don't read.
Stereotypes.
And no, we don't support those. But the way Kurokami explained it was just like light novels really are just like a book. So when he said that, I didn't realize at the time the Kakashi story of Naruto Shippuden, right? I didn't realize that was a light novel. I thought it was just something to continue on the series. And then you were explaining to me, how do you say Damancha, or
Damanchi.
Damanchi, right? That it was a light novel before it became the anime series. Is it wrong to pick up Women in a Dungeon? And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. And you started to explain about certain differences and whatnot. So I guess first and foremost, when it comes to light novels, like what draws you to them, right? Versus mangas or manhwas or
So
webtoons.
it's funny you say that, because I started doing light novels because of anime. Like, so I'll watch a show, and I would just like Google it real quick, and I'm like, my brother got me doing this because my brother only watches anime that's completed. That's like his thing. He's like, I don't want to watch something unless I can binge watch it.
Gotcha.
But every time I watch a show, I just like look up the source content, and I'm like, okay, like, does this have like manga? Does it have a light novel? Like, where did it originate from?
Right.
That's how I got into light novels, because a lot of like the newer stuff is actually derived from novels. Like a lot of Isekai that comes out, like that, a lot of it is light novels that people put out there, and then they catch, and then they turn them into animes. And like the whole, like some of these animes only have one season, even though they're good. But the whole thing is just to draw you to the source content. So that's how I got into it. So the funny part about it is, like, most of the light novels I read are isekai. But like one of my favorite light novels is like Classroom of the Elite.
Right.
I love it.
And I know that has an anime out. I think I just added it to my Crunchyroll list. So I'll give it a watch. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what I'm about to get into. Yeah.
So the biggest difference, I know you asked about that. The difference, it's gonna vary on the show, and I'll just go back to like Classroom of the Elite. Like Classroom of the Elite is one of the best examples of it, because in the light novel it's more first person, so you really like try to understand the main character's like motives. Like, and I'm not gonna like throw out names or plot points. I'm just gonna talk like generally, because I don't want to like spoil it for anybody. But the main character,
you nicer than me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm
we're both nicer than Diamante Kelsey. We're both nicer than Diamante Kelsey, because he always runs it.
You're right.
So
You're right.
so the main character in the light novel is mainly first person. So when you hear the story being told, it's actually more in depth, and
Okay.
there's more to like certain scenarios. Like then in the show, he comes off across as this like really cool, calm headed person,
Hmm.
but a lot of the scenes that are going down, like he's thinking through this stuff, and like he has emotions. They're not as like strong in the light novel as like a normal person, but like he's more portrayed as human versus like
Hmm.
in the show he's just like this like badass, and you're like, damn, this dude is cold. And
Okay.
both versions are great. Like I
Yeah.
love both, but that's like the difference. The other difference between like light novels and anime is a lot of times like the light novels go through a lot more depth,
Okay.
and a lot of times they get darker. So
Mm.
like I read this light novel called the Spirit Chronicles,
Okay.
and the anime breezes through a lot of plot points that build characters outside of the main character, and it kind of makes it the main character focal point. Whereas, like in the light novel, they spend more time building the world. They spend more time telling you about like the different races. They spend more time telling you
Mm.
about like different people, even if they're like minor characters. Like they are portrayed in a way that their departure or introductions are more
Right.
impactful than in the
Okay.
show. So to me, that's the power of the light novel, and that's why I like reading them so much. Is because you get
Hmm.
more depth. You get more depth with characters. You get more depth with like the world building, especially in Isekai. A lot of people don't know this. Like most, the greatest part about Isekais is the world building. Is try to understand like the systems, the cultures, the
Better at play.
dynamics are at play, and so that's why I feel like sometimes when I watch a show, it feels empty because I'm like, damn, like,
Ah.
Damachi is one of those great examples. A lot of the
Right.
arcs that you see in that show, they don't have a lot of key interactions or
Okay.
the in-depth. You don't have like the understanding of the characters, and the author that wrote that is actually really good at telling the story from different points of views.
Mm.
So you sometimes see the same story being told, like the same scene, from
Hmm.
like three different points of views, and it makes the story more powerful. But in the show, you only see like the main character just coming in, saving a day, or doing some heroic shit,
Got
and
you.
so it still looks cool, but it's missing the depth of the interactions, is missing the depth of like the things, and I think like it also takes away from the unique writing styles of the authors, because some of these authors have like really cool things that they do. Like some are really good at foreshadowing, some are really good at like telling stories from different points of views. Some are
So
really good
then,
at just like building depth in characters.
so then, because like it, so obviously it's like the book, and then you have like the adaptation of like the book, right? Um, and then in some cases is even the movie or the series comes before the book, but most times it's book before series. So with that, is it kind of with like the greater amount of details that's within the book? To me, my initial thought when I was thinking about it is kind of like when you're reading a script and there's almost incredibly minute details that are given into how or why the character is moving, and then you go and see it played out and you probably won't catch all of it, and as well sometimes it's not necessarily included, because it's done that way by choice. So is that like a big disconnect for you, that like when you do have those moments like where it seems a bit more empty in a show that is like, well, it's because it was written this way and it just wasn't portrayed in the way that you envisioned it? Because like I know that can be a thing, because I way back when, before what was it, Harry Potter, I think people were just like, yeah, it just didn't play out. The finals movie just didn't play out the way it was written. Essentially, like people had this like other idea in their head of like, oh, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like nail on the head. I think it depends on what you look for though. Like if you just want some cool shit, some
Mhm.
animations, I think it doesn't bother people as much. I'm older now, so I'm like, I want more adult themes in
Right.
my stories. And that's the beautiful part about anime, man. Is like anime, so many genres,
Oh yeah,
and
there's
it
anime for
caters
everybody.
to adults too, just like it caters to your teenagers. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
stories that can be very dark or very like realistic and very
Yep.
you can relate as an adult to characters.
Yep.
So I think when I read and I'm like I see a lot of depth into the interactions, and then like plot points that get brought up in 3 chapters beforehand that
Right.
like then it starts to make sense later on, and you're like, oh shit, so that's why this happened, or this was the significance of this
Okay.
event, right?
Right.
I enjoy that more. I enjoy like a little bit more complexity in like what I consume, and I think I get it
Mm-hmm.
from the novels. Some animes do a great job at adapting it, right? Like
Yeah.
some animes kill it, and they give you the whole like you're like, dang, this is great. Even if it's missing plot points,
Right.
it's still they do still do a good job at like understanding that and covering for it. But I just like my preference is light novels when I
Yeah.
really want to get into the story because of that.
Got you. Well, then, what's been like the best crossover, like from light novel to anime series, or vice versa, anime series to light novel that you've had the pleasure of experiencing thus far,
Shit, man, that's a great
or like your
question.
favorite? Yeah,
No, that's a
or
great
even
question. And actually, I'm just gonna go back to um, Classroom of the Elite.
word. All right.
And it's funny because there are two different. It almost feels like two different stories when you
Yeah.
can like when you watch the anime versus when you read the light novel. It almost feels like, I mean, the events are similar. There's
Yeah.
actually like some plot points that get twisted.
Okay.
Anime does like mainly with relationships, like it does this like thing where there's like key characters that don't interact or you don't know that much about, but in the
Hmm.
light novel you like know more about it.
Okay.
But it's like two different stories being told, like
Right.
same outline, but the stories being told very differently to the point where it almost feels like two different stories. Like one is like a badass dude that just getting it done. The other guy's more mysterious
Yeah.
person who is really smart but still makes mistakes or lets his emotions or his things get the best of him at times or his
Got
assumptions.
you.
But they're both told in a really really well put, done manner. So that's like a good example. Um, Dalmachi's probably my example of like the opposite. Because
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that last arc in the anime disappointed me
Yeah.
because that was my favorite arc
I'm
that I
so
read. Like
sorry,
that,
dog.
and then for those of y'all that are like are fans, the next arc's pretty dope too.
All
But my
right.
favorite was like the whole like monster arc,
Yep.
and
And I
the
gotta
way that arc
say,
got told in the novel was just better, in my opinion. It's just opinion,
no,
but
fair enough. Like I gotta say, right, and we had talked about this before, is that so usually I'm the type, right? However, I get into a series, that's usually the way I stay. So if I watch something, I'm just gonna watch it. If I read it, I'm most likely just gonna read it. It's very rare that I'm like, all right, if I watch this, I'm gonna read whatever comes next, like because maybe it only has like one season out, and then I know it continues on with the manga. Or it's like, all right, if I read this to like a specific point, but I know the series is coming out. Like maybe I watch it, but also at the same time, maybe I should just continue reading and get to like that really good point because I know it's like about to happen. So for the mantra, right? I did not read it at all. I only watched it, and from just viewing it, I actually was really. I thought it was like it mid very well. I won't say it was this is top tier, sort of anime, but I'm like I'm not gonna say it's trash. I'm like it mids very well, and I was like, yo, this is just good. Pick up, watch sort of anime, chill. I understand where some of the characters are coming from. Some of it's a little dumb, but I think a lot of things worked pretty well in my opinion, and I actually liked the last arc a good amount, whereas the arc before, so I think season two, I'm like, I didn't like that one as much, but I liked season three a lot more. So it was a good reprieve and breath of fresh air from what I thought was a stumble in the last season.
Yeah,
Because
I
you
can
made
see
it sound
that.
like this season was a full face plant. I was like, damn, really? This
Yeah,
is
I
all right.
did. I was a savage with that assessment. But I think, like, again, back to your point is
Yeah,
the Harry Potter thing. You
yeah,
just have an expectation, and like it didn't play out the way it was. So
yeah.
that I'm not saying I'm not here to trash any content. I'm just here to tell y'all
No
my
need. Yeah,
opinion, and which is I felt like the novels did it better.
yeah. He's like, look, light novels over everything. Gang, gang.
No, it's not even that. It's not even
Yeah.
that. It's not even that. I just like light novels because it's just the depth. Like I like depth in stories. I
Right.
don't like I consume like shonens. I can do different genres, but my favorite type of animes are the ones that you have very complex characters. Even if the main like I like it when a main character is getting better at something and then they fucking
Mhm.
fall on their face. Or
Okay.
like their character or they're improving on some shit and then they take like 3 steps forward and 2 steps backward or something, you know? Like
Right. Right.
that's how we do it as humans. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody perfect.
That's very
We've
true.
all made progress towards something and then stumbled, and I just like that. I can relate to it a little bit more
Hmm.
as an adult now. And so that's why I just like complexity and
Yeah.
probably why I enjoy like light novels because they flesh that out a little bit more.
Gotcha. They bring, like you said, that depth. And in a lot of these worlds, right, it's isekai. So a lot of characters, one way or another, are getting transported into a completely different world in which they're rebuilding themselves or trying to find a way to get back, right? And there's a lot of tropes. I my first question on this part is like, what is your favorite or least favorite? You can either one is fine. Least favorite or favorite trope. But the question, actually, I'll ask the second question after that. I wanna just know favorite or least favorite because
Man,
there's
I'm gonna
hella
give you
tropes.
both. I'm gonna give you
All right.
both. So my least favorite is the whole harem thing. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so played out.
Well,
It's annoying.
fair.
Like it doesn't. I feel like it takes away from some of the creativity that
Yeah, you
is
watch it because the plot.
isekai. And I just love the concept of isekai in general, right? Like take
Yeah,
away religion, you know,
yeah,
it the whole concept of reincarnation. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool, right? Like what happens when you die. But one of my favorite tropes is actually like, and it evolved, man. It evolved overnight. It's like truck, like everybody talks about truck coon, bro,
Yo,
Listen to me, listen to me.
yeah.
It's not Trunk Coon anymore. They got
It's
Train
some.
Coon, bro. They
Yeah,
got
bro.
Airplane Coon, airplane like Fighter Jet Coon came out here and took
Dog.
somebody out.
Dog. What?
They took somebody out,
Oh my god. Caught you lacking today in the
and
air. That's
then I saw
crazy.
one. Man, I saw one where somebody was riding Bus Coon and got taken out by Train Coon, and I said, "What?"
Oh, how you get both?
Yeah,
Yo,
the way they be getting taken out is crazy. One of the craziest ones was actually slime.
yeah.
I got reincarnated as a slime.
Where
I
it's on my
always mess
watch
up these
list.
titles.
You good.
Feel
They
free to
always have
judge me.
so long. They have long ass titles.
They
Every
do.
isekai has to have just some ridiculous long ass title. At least like a large
Crazy.
majority of them.
Crazy. Um,
Yeah.
but man, Slime's one of my favorites. And the way dude went out, I was like, you know what? He went out kind of like a G, but still, man, like that was crazy. But yes, like I just love the concept of hey, you minding your own business one day, and then hey, a bus hits you and you out.
But like you said, it's not always a bust. Like one of them, I read the title. Like I was, this is me trying to like set up my crunchy list, right? And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do a whole country list called "You've Been Isekai." It's just gonna be full with like cool isekai I want to watch, right? And I'm reading I'm reading the description of this one. This dude gets isekai through a toilet. Fam, I'd be heated. I'd be heated. Through a toilet? He can't even release him. Like he can't even relieve himself in peace. He's just in a new world now, and he's like, I gotta get back. Do I have to get back the same way I came though? Because that's a problem. I don't want to. Like, is it like reverse? Do I have to go up through the systems back to my toilet? Like, I don't want that. Is there just a doorway? Can it just be an open door? I'd rather Lion Witch in the wardrobe. This shit that'd be cool.
Shit.
Because getting isekai hurts. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think something that's not initially talked about is the fact that, like, for a split second you have to feel that pain, right? That has to be the wildest sensation ever.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to feel that. And then when you
Truck
wake up,
Coon.
that's probably the jolt that wakes you up. It's like, oh shit, what?
My favorite thing was when
Hmm.
they did the Truck Coon. They had like it's like a drawing of it, and he transformed. He told a guy, he said, "You get Isekai, bitch."
Yes. Wait, I have that.
They
I
got my
have that meme.
man.
I will definitely flash it here, right? I'm gonna do that in post. So y'all gonna see it here. It's just a dude walking the street because it's a one shot dude just walking the street, and it's just the truck, and it just transforms like an Autobot. It says you Isekai. It's like what? And the kid's just looking at him like, oh, he's really about to hit me in the face. You've been Isekai. Oh damn, Truck-kun got hands.
He do.
I'm not with that smoke.
Undefeated. Undefeated.
Undefeated. Shit. What's his face nose? From Tokyo Revengers, which I will say, when I watched it, I'm like, I did not suspect this was gonna be like a time travel isekai, right? Because like he's still in the same world, however, he's in the past. Like he's just going back into the past. So I consider it an isekai in that way. Because
I
he
actually
got
don't even know the answer to this.
yeah, because I because he gets pushed like episode 1, he gets pushed in front of a train. First off, wow, so we're just starting things off like on that sort of note. Okay, someone pushed him in front of the train, and then he wakes up, he's like, oh snap, I'm like 13, 14 again. The hell happened? And then he's just trying to fix his life, but every time he tries to Takamichi, every time.
Honestly, that
Oh,
show
this
is
man
fire
cries a
though.
lot. He cries a lot,
He
and that's
does.
okay. He goes through it. He goes through it, and that's okay. He's allowed to cry. It's just there's a time and place, right? Kiseki was present. I think he should have just bought a lot of issues would have been solved if he just bodied them. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
It's true.
But yeah, so Tokyo Revengers has been a time. It's been a real good time. But also with the whole world of isekais and animes, coming out for the spring season, we get Rising of the Shield Hero season 2. I haven't seen it, episode 1
Yes.
yet of season 2, but that Jones back right now as we speak, so
I
I
love
can't
it.
wait. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch it episodically, week to week, or if I'm gonna let it just build and just binge it. So I'm trying to think how that's gonna
Just
play
like
out.
you should just binge it. Just
Yeah,
binge it. I mean,
no, you read like just about everything, so like, what's popping? This gonna be a good
man,
season?
that's like so. Like to me, this is the thing. I don't know what they're gonna include in the anime, so I can't tell you yes or no. The first episode was really good, in my
Okay,
opinion. But that's another one, man, where I'm like, they be shonifying my boy now for me, man. They can't be playing those games. Bro,
fair.
he
He's more of
is
a seinen.
brutal in the light novels.
Oh, I believe it.
Brutal. And like his decision making and the way he approaches things and the way he thinks about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's better told in the novel because you see more of his mindset and when he makes decisions. Even like the very first episode of the whole show, spoiler alert, like when he's talking to when he first sees Reptalia, the difference between the light novel and the way he does it in the show is completely different. Like the way he sees her as like a way to get back at like he was basically the only reason he got her is because it was like a way for him to make himself feel better. Like
Okay.
seeing her suffer brought him some peace because he saw Mind's face in her. And I was
Okay.
like, damn, like it's fucked up, but that's a human, like humans
Yeah.
do that. Like you look for places to misplace your anger in. And I'm like, damn, like it took me a while to get back to reading because it just hit me. I'm like, man, this man is angry to the point where he doesn't even feel sorry for this chick. And
Man,
like
that's some savage
decisions, like the
shit.
one decision that got me was when it was like his whole redemption part. And they're like, he basically came out and said, don't kill mine and the king.
Right.
That's not what happened in the light novel. he was like, kill them motherfuckers.
Damn.
He said,
He
yeah,
said,
he was
yeah, I'll
like,
put them in heads.
he didn't hesitate. It was the queen. Again, the queen is a badass character.
Right. She is the lone, like, for real. She is the power in the kingdom.
She's a chess player, bro. In the novels, she's a chess player, and she plays that game so well. And like when I saw her, like she was like begging, and it was like basically her like submitting to him in that moment. And I'm like, that's not how it goes down, because she's conniving. She was the one that convinced him not to do it because it was to his benefit, and it just takes away her role. So that's why I'm a little bit like, how is this going to play out moving forward? Because some of the characters, they don't have the persona or the charisma or the characteristics that in the novel. So it'll be interesting how it interacts. But yeah, man, Rising of Shield Hero, great.
Weird. So you just kind of essentially you just wish it wasn't shonen shonenified, right? And kept it more like seinen, so kept it more adult, more mature, with like, you know, real consequences and deeper, sometimes darker thought processes. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the world they're in, I feel like it works to. I think they tried to blend it, right? Because I was gonna say it works to both of their benefits with it being slightly shonen, but predominantly seinen. Or I don't know if I ever say that right. Seinen. Y'all know what I mean. Look, come for me if you want. It's all good, but y'all know what the fuck I mean. Seinen. but I feel like because like you do like especially what happens in episode 1. And just the fact that he's in a world where it's knights and monsters and soldiers and war and battles that are happening, you need adult concepts there. But obviously, you need the shonen aspect of being able to get in touch with that character, because at the end of the day, business is trying to be business. They trying to move product, and having that shonen hero trope, while for some played out, I really love it. As I said in season 1, I'm a shonen whore. I know who I am. It's all good. So I know who I am. I know who I am. But I also love seinen, so it's cool. So like I get it. So a question I got for you, dog, is if you were to be Isekaid into any world, right? And I'm going to give you, for this world, protagonist plot armor. Okay? What world would you want to be Isekai into? And, like, how would it go down for you there?
Damn.
Yeah.
You coming in with these tough questions, man.
Hey, dude.
It's got to be... I know you said you gave me the plot armor.
Yeah, you got the plot armor.
There's two kinds of Isekai. There's, like, grind Isekai and cheat Isekai.
Right.
That I ain't trying to be in that grind shit, man. Come on, man.
He said, if I got the plot armor, I'm just giving my shit now.
I need that.
Run me mine. Thank you.
See, I don't even need the harem. Give me 1 or 2. I'm good. I'm good. But I would want there's this one called Isekai Cheat Magician. It's like a Crunchyroll one, man. I get a lot of my content from Crunchyroll. I'm just as casual as they come, right?
A lot of people get their content from Crunchyroll now, and that's no knock. That's a Crunchyroll. Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work, but I'm just saying. They a powerhouse, so.
Isekai Cheat Magician is basically this guy comes in so he basically got summoned, but then he also brought this girl that he had feelings for.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. The plot's a little confusing sometimes, but
yeah.
So he had feelings for her, and they both get summoned into this world. And he's like, she's also overpowered, but he's like OP,
right?
Like OP, where everything he does is easy. He's essentially
maxed out.
Yeah. He don't struggle, taking out armies by himself and shit. So I need that. But I mean, I wouldn't even do nothing crazy. I'll just mind my own business.
He's like,
1 or 2 holes, and I'm good.
Shoot. There you go. But yo. But what if you get Isekaid, right? You ain't got no plot armor. Where's the place you would want to go? But what's the place you damn sure as hell would want to stay away from? This is no plot armor. So what's your hope? And which one would be the I'm fucked.
Man, I don't know if you know about the shows Arafureda from Commonplace to World's Strongest. So the main character, so the whole concept of this show is like they get summoned. It's like a whole classroom gets summoned into this world, and it's like ruled by gods, and the gods like control. Like the gods treat people like chess pieces, like they're basically pitting people against each other. Like whenever there's peace, they just like ruin everything, and they make it so that like there's wars and stuff. So I wouldn't want to be there, not without plot armor, because it's a dark world there.
Okay, like so that's the world you wouldn't want to be in. Interesting.
You know,
okay.
There's a bunch of other worlds, I'm sure, but that's the one that's fresh in my mind.
Okay.
Like there's another one called Grimguard of Ash. Man, I'm fucking up these titles. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Your viewers are gonna hate me, but it's okay.
It's okay.
But
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's like another grind anime, and it's basically about this like group of kids who they like struggle to like slay a goblin.
Okay.
They can't even do it. Speaking of goblins, Goblin Slayer is another world I will not want to be in.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that.
Nah, real talk. One of the animes that comes completely fresh to mind that I would not want to be a part of, that I actually don't think, are one that people already know is nope, I'm not gonna, don't send me to Attack on Titan. I'm not going there.
Oh my
Hell
God.
no. Nope. Yeah. I don't want to be on high alert all the time. I'm good.
I thought you were saying specific isekais. I didn't know you were
just anime worlds in general. Anime worlds in general.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, Attack on Titan's up there.
Yeah, I don't need that shit. Fuck that. No, thank you. I am solid. And honestly, if I don't have any sort of plot armor, do not put my ass in Dragon Ball Z. I'm good. I'm so good. Just walk out one day, I look up and Kid Boo's about to destroy the planet. I'm solid. And get my whole entire life treated like it's a fucking game. I'm dead one moment, I'm back the next. I'm dead one moment, I'm back the next. Hold up, because the Earth Dragon Balls can only can have so much power. It's like, so you mean it can just happen at any time? I'm just a casualty of a drive-by shooting, essentially. You have no power in that world unless you have plot armor. So I don't want to be a victim. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't need that.
I'm so good. Or Bleach. Just get run up on by a fucking hollow.
They got hands, bro.
Yeah, they hit hard. But you know what world I would actually like to be in? Fairy Tail, my G. I'm being in Fairy Tail.
Yeah, I feel like that's chill.
It's chill enough. I saw some messed up things in it, but I'm like, mess with the right people, I'm good. It's like I'm good enough. I can bypass and.
Do you have powers, just not plot armor? Because there's a difference. Like you just a bystander, and you ain't got no powers.
With Fairy Tail, maybe with Fairy Tail, I would. Do I want the plot armor there? I feel like I could get by without plot armor. I feel like I could be all right without plot armor and Fairy Tail. I think I'd live. I think I'd survive that. Like, there's definitely some things I'm
powers, though. You will have some.
Yeah, I definitely would have powers. Yeah, ain't no way I'm not going. Crazy. Yeah, because like imagine you had no powers in My Hero Academia, right? In that world, you're just quirkless, or you have the crappiest quirk possible.
But you will be a minority if you didn't have any powers there. Remember that.
Yeah, and you can get clapped at any moment.
You could.
Everybody else got powers and you don't.
Yeah, you could. You're right.
Yeah, but you could also have a crappy power as well. Like you could look like the centipede dude. God bless him. That is not.
Why you have to bring my fans into this?
I'm just saying, it's not a look. It's not. It's not good.
That's
not
savage.
good. Could be like Mineta for balls on top of his head, wearing diapers. Like there's a whole thing
Yeah.
there. Like I don't like. I'm solid, man. It's things I think about a little too much time.
No, I like the questions and I like these thought processes because sometimes I'll be sitting there thinking about it myself. I never really thought about like whether I be in this world or not. So that's a great question.
Hey, man.
But
That's
yeah,
what I do. Because I don't want to end up. Hold on. Even thinking about it like this, right? And I know like I'm just like kind of using some of the big names because like honestly that's what I'm seeing like around me right now. So even like Demon Slayer, I would maybe rather not know, right? I don't think I would actually want to be a Hashira because they go out violently if they go out.
you're
I
right.
think I'm a regular ass like I'm just a regular ass person, just minding my business. I'm not going out at night. I'm chilling. I'm
I mean,
chilling.
but you could be like that dude whose fiance got taken though. And
I could.
you don't
I
have to
could.
go you don't have to go out because Tanjiro's family was minding their own business in their house.
I
And
know
they
that's
took
real.
them all out.
That's real.
Michael Jackson style. He was
Smooth
out there,
criminal.
bro. They really made Michael Jackson into one of the craziest villains of all time. That was crazy. Shout out to that author. She a beast.
Yo,
But
every time he was on the screen, I'm just like, damn, Annie, are you okay? Oh, we're not. All
bro,
right, so maybe I'd be a high shred to have a fighting chance, but also, man, they go through it, dog.
they
They go
do,
through it.
but still, hey,
Would you want
they
to be
get
in
villain.
Naruto? That's just war all the time. And I'm talking like
No,
Shippuden, not the Boruto stuff.
no. Put me in a slice of life anime.
That's exactly what I would want. I would.
Yeah.
Do you know what? When I think about it, maybe put me in a sports anime with plot armor. Oh my! Because look, I ain't gotta get beat up. I can win world championships. I get money. Anything else that comes after that is just a plus. Like it's
Wow.
fine. Dog, what? This is real people goals right now. Money, security, generation. What
I'm sorry. You brought up
accolade?
the sports animes, and I just think
Naruto's
about
no
the one
basketball.
show. Yeah, with dude dunked from the 3-point line, I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
watch this shit.
Yeah, but hold on. But imagine if you're the person that can jump from the half court line. Imagine if you're that bull. Like your leaping ability is so grand, it's like you just defy any and all
No,
physics.
I like exaggeration, and I know I sound like a hypocrite because I was just saying don't shit on authors for their or artists for what they write, but I'm like, damn, you gonna make a man jump from the 3-point line and dunk? Come
I ain't
on,
going
man.
front. I was like, hey yo, what grade these guys in? I'm like, high school? Yeah, get the fuck out of here, dog.
Even
But I kept watching because that shit was gold. Oh
yeah.
man. Well
Is
look,
it High
fam.
Q? Is that the one?
Haikyuu with the
Yeah,
volleyball?
High Q.
Yeah.
Yep. I need to watch that one. I heard that was fire.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet? Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
I
Please,
haven't.
please watch that. It's really good.
That basketball
Really
joint
good.
took it out of me. Took it out of
You
me.
know what? That's fair. I think a lot of people who got in or like tried to watch sports anime started with Karuko's, and they're just like, "I'll wait. I'll wait till this calms down because this is ridiculous."
Well,
But
I actually started with Prince of Tennis. I don't know if you ever seen Prince of Tennis.
wow. All right, so
That was
that's
like,
one I actually remember from Toonami. Yeah.
yeah, Prince of Tennis. I started, and it was actually really fire. Um, and then there was another one I watched that was I Shield 21, and the boy
I
ran a
have never.
4-1. And when he ran a 4-1, I was like, yeah, I can't watch these shit. I can't watch
He
this
clicked it after that. He's like, "Ain't no one in
The
the
moment he did
history."
that, I was like, yeah, this ain't for me now.
He said, "Nope,
Come
nope.
on, man.
I'm not believing this." Bye. Click.
I think my problem is I was an athlete, so it's up
Yeah.
too much
So
in my head when I see stuff like that. I don't take it
he's.
for the creativity and what it's meant to be.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, the fastest to see, I just to even imagine what a 4-1 looks like in real life is crazy. Just because like I've seen people from like who run 4-4s. The fastest I saw was like a what was it 4-3 with sweep, or was he a 4-2-7? Whatever the hell. But like he's probably like one of the fastest, if not the fastest person I've ever seen live run. And it was like a 4-1 Ain't no way. Ain't no way this dude, what, he was just a high school ball player? Yeah, ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way. I ain't gonna front. In Japan, I don't mean to be rude, but, you know,
Yo,
you catch what I'm saying. Anyway, you catch what I'm saying.
yeah, they be tripping.
A 4-1 in
People
high
don't
school?
jump from the 3-point line and dunk. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But then again, that's some crazy shit that happens in anime, so maybe I shouldn't talk too much shit.
I mean,
That's
the
right,
dude
I
had
know.
100 points because he was upset. He said, I was upset I'm playing this game, so I scored 100 points to show him who was boss. What? What in the Michael Jordan sociopathy is that? Some wild shit. But yeah, maybe if I get transported into a sports anime, I'm just saying you could live a nice life.
That's
You don't
true.
have to fight.
That's
You
true.
just gotta play games. That's all you gotta do is just perform and be all right. Get some money, have a good family.
Into a slice of life harem anime, and I'm the main character.
Hey, I
Give
mean,
me the plot armor, main character harem trope, and I'm good.
Hey, bro, there it is. There it is. Well, all right, I see the time now. So, fam, I just want to say thank you so much. But before we do cue this up for a farewell, I want to say, I know I did not give you any time or any preparation, but something I do actually want to continue that my old mentor that he would ask his, guest if there's a nickname or code. So for Zenkai Station, I want to know what your station ID would be. Because mine's Senpai Savage, we have Kurokami, we have Black Kobayashi, and now with our friend Diavante, we have Younger Racion. So to board Zenkai Station, what's your station ID, my G? It can be anything.
I just want to be that dude with the monocle.
That dude with the monocle.
Because
all right.
you know how the Isekai's got the long name? I need a long name for me.
Hell yeah. That dude with the monocle. So that will be your station ID. So whenever you're a guest on this show again, that's your name that pops up down there. The dude with the monocle. Bet. We can make that happen. So thank you, brother. I really appreciate you joining me, man. I can't wait to have you back on for another episode in the future. And to everyone listening, to everyone watching, thank you so much for vibing with us. I appreciate everything that you guys do. It's been so much fun. Please remember, follow us at Zenkai Station. That's Zenkai Station, and that's everywhere on social media. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars, and hopefully, please, if you enjoy this, leave good comments and share this with your friends, family members, and whoever else you think may enjoy this. From the man with the monocle, from Senpai Savage, with full speed and good graces, I just want to say much love, y'all. Peace. Later.